Hey, good people, how you doing? David Taub here, co-creator of NextLevelGuitar.com. Hope all is going well, and I hope your guitar journey is going famously. And today I have a multi-part lesson where we're going to look at some lead guitar strategies and devices, some arpeggios and some triad use in constructing a melodic solo. And I want you to take some of these ideas and run with them and maybe use parts of them in your solos and lead guitar practice and, have fun with them and use them to jazz up your solos. And hey, if you'd like a free video lesson that's not on YouTube and a coinciding ebook, just click on the link in the YouTube description box and I'll send you a free video lesson and a coinciding ebook, which has a lot of the scales that we're going to be talking about diagrammed out on paper, chord charts, tons of great lessons. Click on that, send it to you for free from Next Level Guitar. So the chords I'm playing over are a C major 7th to an A minor 7th. Just a simple 2-chord change. It's wide open. We're in the key of C major, and there's tons of things that you could do over these chords and so many different ways to approach it. Basically, you can, we're in the key of C major, so you could blast what relates to all or C major scales over both chords and or C major pentatonic. I was using some C major scales in the intro. It sounds great. I was also treating each chord as a separate event where I was playing over the C major 7th chord, I was playing C major 7th arpeggios, and I was playing some C Lydian or C major scales. And then when it went to the A minor chord, I was playing some, what was I doing? I was playing some A minor 7 arpeggios and A natural minor scales. And that kind of gives you a little bit more of a sophisticated sound, playing over the chords independently, treating each chord as a separate event. But you could do either, whatever sounds best to your ears, right? And what I'd like to show you now is how about we start with some really cool arpeggios that are going to move you across the neck. So you're not just kind of playing up and down vertically. We're going to be moving across through 3 octaves. And these are great arpeggios because it's 2 notes per string. And you're going to play all 6 strings. So it's a lot of cool sounds, right? And you heard me play that in the intro. So what I started with was a C major 7th arpeggio. And basically a major 7th arpeggio is just the root or 1, the 3rd note in the scale, the 5th note in the scale, and the 7th note in the scale, 1, 3, 5, 7. So in the key of C, our C major scale, we're going to play the C or the root. We're going to play the E, which is the 3rd. We're going to play the G, which is the 5th, C, E, and G, our basic C major chord. We're going to add that 7th, which is the major 7, which is a B note, and that's what gives it its spice. So I played this. And that's a cool little device. And what that is I'm starting on the B note, and I'm playing the 7th to the root. And then there's my E, 3rd, and then my G, my 5th. And then I just repeat that in octaves. And it's really cool once you work up the speed. Let me show you that up close. And an easy way to find this, why I like this arpeggio, is it's always, you could start it by playing a half step below the root. And that will always put you at the major 7. So we want to play it in C. So I find the B note, half step below. And I blast it away from there. If I wanted to play this, let's say, in the key of G, I want to do a G major 7 arpeggio. So I would find my G note and go back a half step to F sharp and start it from there. And it's right there. So the root is always, for this arpeggio, on the low E string. And we're playing 2 notes per string. And then we're jumping up to the octave. So we start low E and A strings, play the arpeggio, D and G strings, then we jump up to the B and high E strings. And it's a great arpeggio. And I did something like that where I connected it to a lick that is in a C major scale, and I was playing off of this C major scale here. So it's a nice idea to find where these arpeggios live within scales. Because then you could add some notes and kind of mix your arpeggios in with the scales. And that's what good arpeggio playing really does. It mixes the notes in with the scales. So try that C major seventh, lay these chords down, or if you have a progression with a major seventh or a major chord, play that major seven arpeggio over it and see how you like it. And then on the A minor chord, let's do something similar. We'll play an A minor seventh arpeggio and a minor seventh arpeggio. Remember, we're switching to minor, so it has that flat third in it. So it's a root or one, flat third, fifth, and flat seven. And that gives us the minor seventh. So in the key of A, because we were going to play over that A minor chord, we're going to do, again, we're going to do 2 notes per string, 3 octaves across all 6 strings. That arpeggio sounds like this. Right? So here, the root note, play with your 3rd finger, or you could use your 2nd finger. Actually, I do it with my 2nd finger on the low E string. That's my A note. Go back a whole step. And this works in any key, and that'll be our G note. And play 3rd and 5th frets on the low E string. There's my root. And then you got to stretch for the next 2 notes, because our notes in this minor 7 arpeggio in the key of A are G, A. A's our root, right? Then we have our 3rd, which is C, and I'm sorry, our flat 3rd. And then we have our 5th, which is E, and then our flat 7, G. So again, we're starting a whole step. We're starting below the root. We're starting on the G. G, A, C, E. And then we just repeat that. You could end it on the A. So that arpeggio, the fingering might be a little tricky for you, and it's a little bit of a stretch, especially down here in the lower region of the neck. But here's the finger I like to use. I like to use my 1st and 2nd fingers on the low E string, and then my 1st and pinky. So I'm going 3rd fret, 5th fret, low E string, and then 3rd fret, 7th fret, A string. And then I repeat that with the 1st and 2nd finger on the 5th and 7th frets of the D string. And then right below it, on the G string, I repeat with my 1st finger and pinky on the 5th and 9th frets. And then you got to hop up to the 8th and 10th frets on the B string. Again, I use my 1st and 2nd finger to be consistent throughout this whole arpeggio. And then 1st and pinky on the 8th and 12th fret. You could end on the A if you want to. So altogether you have this. And that's a great arpeggio when you work up the speed. And you don't have to play the whole arpeggio up and back, up and back. You kind of stop along the way, add some other notes, add some scalar notes and whatnot. But that's a really cool device for playing across the neck. Look, you're getting this much of the fretboard as opposed to just staying in like a little box. We're just expanding that out, right? We're grabbing that and pulling and expanding that scale. Expanding the neck, I mean. And you could play that in any key. Just put your 3rd finger on the root note in whatever key you want to play it in. Go back a whole step and start there and play that shape. And that's your minor 7 arpeggio, 6-string root, 2 notes per string across all 6 strings, 3 octaves. So you see how we're really getting some major coverage on the neck, and the arpeggios sound really cool. So lay those down and have fun with them. And remember to mix your arpeggios in with your scales. Remember to find where these scales, these arpeggios live within the scale and the triads within the scale. In fact, the next lesson I'll show you some triad work that we did in the solo and teach a bunch of different triads and how you can use that to add melodicism to your solo. And I get a lot of questions about gear. For this lesson, I'm using a Paul Reed Smith 513 electric guitar, made in the USA, and I'm mainly playing off of all the way up the neck pickup for that real kind of warm, throaty kind of sound. I'm running that straight into Mesa Boogie Mark II tube amp, straight into the front of the amp. All of the distortion is coming from the amp. I'm on the 2nd channel, the high gain channel, but I don't have the amp cranked, so the gain is kind of like halfway. And it's right in the front of the amp, and the only effect is I have some reverb that's built into the amp. I'm using some amp reverb, And then I have a delay pedal in the effect loop, and that's what you heard in the beginning, me playing through that delay. It's an MXR carbon copy analog delay, and all the settings on the delay pedal are about at 12 o'clock, the mix, the repeats, and the length of the delay. So it sounds like this. 4 repeats, 5 repeats. And you can hear a little bit of that reverb. And that's it. Very simple setup. And when I start the lesson and actually start teaching, I turn the delay off and I turn the volume down. So it's just for instructional purposes. But if I have the delay on now, and here's the sound. The neck pickup, real throaty and warm. The bridge pickup on this guitar is a lot more aggressive sound. So I hope you like that. Just a quick little thing on a couple of cool arpeggios. Try that minor 7th arpeggio over minor 7 chords. Sounds super cool. And enjoy. Remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. Practice over jam tracks, play in all keys. Go to our website, which is a full-on video instructional curriculum. We have lessons in a structured curriculum for all level players, beginners, intermediates, advanced, and all genres of music. Right? It's has over 1,600 lessons. I add new lessons all the time. I'm going to add another 50 or 60 next month. There's a 3-day free pass right on the homepage. So try it out. It doesn't cost you anything. We don't ask for a credit card or anything. Just go to nextlevelguitar.com and right under the video of me holding the Les Paul, click on start your free trial now and try it for 3 days. It's free. You have nothing to lose and you might like it. I'm David Taub, co-creator of Next Level Guitar. Thanks for watching. Take care and keep on rocking.